both kind of hit it off and said, yeah, let's work on this idea together. It's just the two of them. They wrote code. They worked all weekend. And now this was more of a startup weekend type thing. So they were supposed to present on Sunday. And the person came around and said, you've got an hour or whatever to present. And they're like, we don't even care about presenting. We're like, we're so excited about this idea. We're going to do it. So they did. They made them present. And they said, yeah, we did a terrible job. It was half-assed. But they ended up starting a business. Like that weekend became their business. Wow. We funded it. They moved out to L.A., and Google bought the company.
What's the business? What was the business?
It's called DivShot. Folks that are listening can look it up, DivShot, DivShot.
That's a great story.
It's a good one. Yeah, because they didn't know each other.
It's a great networking opportunity,
it's an
really.
Absolutely great network. Even if the startup weekend idea you work on isn't that great, like you're just not committed.
You said you don't have to code if you go to a hackathon, but everybody you've mentioned who's there is coding. So if I get on your team and I'm like, hey, I'm just your network, I don't know how to code. Is that okay?
Yeah, it is okay. I think you're just getting to know people. And think about it. A lot of the people it's all about bringing different expertise together. A lot of the coders might not necessarily be the business-minded, creative in that regard, where they're not. If you come to them as a business person and say, here's a problem I think would be interesting to solve. I don't know how to solve it in software. Do you want to work on this together?
Or maybe they're not good at sales, or they're not good at accounting.
Hiring, recruiting, marketing, sales. And there's a lot of ways you can add value. So I would strongly encourage non-technical people, don't be intimidated. Just show up, drink beer, eat pizza, don't be disruptive, just be socially.
I want to go.
I know.
Go to your first hackathon.
Do it.
Hey, John, thank you so much for being here. We're going to see you next week here, as we do every week on Cowork Radio. And if you have questions for John.
Yes, if you have questions, please contact John at askjohn@coworkradio.com.
Also, you can go to our website at coworkradio.com, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, send some questions in.
After the break, Eric Onnen will be here. Eric is the founder and CEO of Santa Barbara Airbus, which provides 16 round-trip buses to LAX every day. Plus, they have mini limo buses and charter services. You are listening to Cowork Radio. Please follow us on social media, and you can download episodes on iTunes or coworkradio.com or iHeart. We will be right back.
When it's time to clean your carpets, you should know that some carpet cleaners can leave harmful toxins in your home or office. That's why Wallace Cleaning Company created the 4-step cleaning process that uses state-of-the-art equipment and environmentally safe, non-toxic solutions to clean your carpets with your satisfaction guaranteed and your safety in mind. Since 1979, Wallace Cleaning Company has been the Santa Barbara area's premier choice for quick, quiet, efficient, and safe carpet cleaning that dries in 2 hours or less. When it's time to clean your carpets at home or office, it's time to call a name you can trust at a price you can afford. It's time to call 967-1860 to talk to the pros at Wallace Cleaning Company, where no job is too big or too small. Wallace Cleaning Company, 967-1860. Learn more about the affordable 4-step cleaning process that cleans your carpets with your safety in mind.
Hi, it's Catherine Raymock. Are you buying or selling a home? See Compass Realtor Terry Ryken. I went to Terry because of his reputation and experience, but was quickly taken by his genuine enthusiasm. It's that combination that truly sets him apart. Terry specializes in properties in Montecito, Hope Ranch, Santa Barbara, and Santa Ynez Valley, and has 39 years of experience as an agent and broker. There are so many realtors to choose from, but only one Terry Ryken. Find out for yourself. Google search Terry Ryken. Do you have a special event coming up? Go to Zoto's for all your party needs. At Zoto's, they offer packages for birthday parties, corporate and team building events, accompanied, of course, with a light show, DJ, delicious food, bowling, and full bar. Call 967-0128, where the staff will help you plan and execute an exciting event, all within your budget. Go to Zotos.com to book your party now, because when you're having an event, it's got to be Zoto's. And welcome back to Co-work Radio here on KZSB 1290 AM. I'm Catherine Raymock.
And I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And we're a show all about the modern entrepreneur. And each week we interview two company founders. We're so happy to have in the studio with us Eric Onnen, who is the CEO and founder of Santa Barbara Airbus. And they provide up to 16 round-trip daily charter services to LAX, mini limo buses too. And we'll find out more about the green certification, which happened back in 2009. He started the Santa Barbara Airbus 34 years ago after graduating from UCSB with a major in business economics. And he is in studio actually with his daughter Samantha, who is now working for the family business as well. And Eric, hi, how are you?
Hi, glad to be here. Good afternoon.
It is so good to see you. Man, if somebody had told you all those years ago when you were at UCSB that you'd be on a show talking about 34 years of the business, your daughter sitting by your side, college grad, and now working for the family business, what would you have thought?
Well, I can tell you I never planned for all that, but feel very fortunate that that's where we are today.
You were a business major, but this idea wasn't really born in school. You were traveling and you saw something like this. So how was Santa Barbara Airbus born?
Well, when I was here at UCSB, I was working at a local company called Country Meat Market. Worked my way through college there and became manager when I graduated from UCSB. And then I met this wonderful Canadian girl down in Mexico, and we went to visit her parents in London, Ontario, which, of course, to get to London, Ontario, you fly into Toronto. And there was a service that operated between Toronto and London on a scheduled basis. I don't know how many trips a day in vans. It was called Robert Q's Airbus. And that's where the idea was taken from, should I say?
Was it immediate, like an aha, I got to do this? Or
Well, I was sitting on the curb waiting for the van to pick us up. My father-in-law was there, and they were taking me back to Toronto. I had to get home early to get back to work. Kelly was staying. And my father-in-law said, this is what you need in Santa Barbara to go to LAX, because at that time Kelly was a flight attendant. And I would quite often drive her back and forth between LAX and Santa Barbara when she was on her breaks between flying. So we knew acutely the need for some alternative to get between the two areas, the South Coast here and LAX.
Now, it's fantastic to read that you're a green business since 2009. What's involved in becoming a green business?
Well, in this case, this is a Santa Barbara County certified green business, so they have a program set up specifically to walk you through the steps, and it's all over the board. Anything you can do within businesses. We were in the automotive side of what they were looking to do, so using reduction of using solvents, of recycling, of energy efficiency.
Was it costly for you to do these things to meet the standards?
We actually approached the whole thing on the idea that it had to be cost justified. So literally everything that we have done has probably saved us money over what we were doing before.
Did you see going electric? An electric bus?
Oh, we were just talking.
We were just talking about it on the car right over here.
Yeah, because we were talking about buses that we're going to get over the next year. And Samantha says we just got to wait till we get to the electric stage. So yeah, that will certainly be ready. There's a lot of things to happen before we know that will be a reality.
Now, are you able to lease a bus the way you lease a car? I have an electric car, and I intentionally lease because, like Samantha just said, I don't know 3 years from now if it is going to be electric or fuel something.
You can, and there's different strategies on that. We actually, our company strategy, we buy equipment to own it. These are long-term assets. Those motor coaches are 15, 20-year assets. So we believe purchasing is better for us.
I want to get back a little bit to the start of your business. But before that, Samantha, because she's here in studio with us, was just answering the electric question, kind of the new generation, right? So you were trained in hotel management originally. You were not even born when your parents came up with this idea. In fact, she calls herself the third child. The first was the Santa Barbara Airbus.
Yes.
Yeah. And so your reason for coming back and starting to work in the family business is what?
I was working in Austin, missed my family, but also was really ready for a change in what I was doing and the company culture I was working for. So that was the big motivation, is looking for a company that valued me, and I'm a hard worker. I like to be at work. So someone that also, that relationship had benefits on both sides. So thinking that over, it made sense. Well, shoot, maybe I should move back to Santa Barbara and work at the business, which is not something that was ever really a big thing pushed on us. It was kind of, if you ever want to come back, let's have the conversations. And so I called. And I think his first reaction was, "Are you just having a bad day?" And I'm like, "No, maybe, but no." And then I started, every time we talked, "Have you thought about this? Have you thought about it?"
Now, it can be very difficult to work in a family business. Do you have any advice for other young entrepreneurs that are thinking of joining the family business?
No. No advice. No, don't do it. I just don't have any advice. We got lucky and we were actually very well together. My mom was really nervous about it. She thought, "Oh my God, we're all going to sit at dinner and hate each other." But I think it's just different for everybody of how it works.
That means Dad must be a very good manager.
Well, I don't know for sure about that. But
do you manage her differently than as a daughter than if she were a regular employee?
Well, not much. I think an important point was that as the kids grew up and when they wanted to get a job while they were still in high school, the option, of course, was to bring them into the business. And strategically, we said at that time, no, you know what? You go out and find a job on your own and work in a different environment. And when and if the time is right for you to work within the business, then we'll address that. And neither one of them worked in the business all the way through high school or any of those. Now, they helped out with things we were doing, and they certainly were connected with it, and they got all the old computer equipment that they could play with. But I think that served us well, is to have them experience something else before
that's a good idea. We're talking with Eric Onnen, and Santa Barbara Airbus began 34 years ago. And you were talking about sitting at the dinner table. I think I've heard you say before that you and your wife, Kelly, actually didn't really have an intricate business plan, but you sat down and you did map out something. At the time, just so people can see how far this idea has come, you had one bus you drove, right? Is that right?
Well, now we have a partner in the business, Mark Klopstein. And he's been a partner in the business since we started. But we started with 2 vans. We operated it out of the spare bedroom of our condominium. The vans were parked on the street behind the condo. We threw the hose over the fence to wash them. So it was a classic bootstrap.
Yeah.
We didn't have any experience. We didn't have any capital, but we had a desire to go into business for ourselves, and we worked through all the challenges.
Now, yes, over 34 years, a lot of changes have happened, and as we were just talking about earlier, electric is just around the corner. The other thing that's happened in Santa Barbara is we have a brand new airport, which is much larger, and I assume is servicing more people. How has that affected your business, and what did you do?
The Santa Barbara Airport has a significant effect on us and our passengers going to and from LAX. And we have other aspects of the business, charter buses and tours that we do as well. But we've seen the Santa Barbara Airport go through a considerable history where their volume has been higher or lower. Obviously, the airport's doing well right now, but we're actually doing better than we've ever done.
What was your strategy to adjust to the new airport?
Really just to make sure that we were offering the high-quality service we said we were offering, our reliability, dependability. The reality of it is that when it works for you to fly out of Santa Barbara, it's a nice option, but if you're flying international, want direct flights, there's a lot of reasons why people still want to fly out of a major airport. Also because to recover. If you've been out there and you miss a flight, if you're in a very small airport, there's not many opportunities to get on the next connection. So.
When you first started your business, you were the first of its kind. And now over the 34 years you've been in business, you have other competition coming in. Do you respond to the competition, or do you still feel like you're sort of setting the trend? Are they running after you? How does that affect you?
Well, see, for a long time, our real competition, even if there isn't an operator doing the same thing as us, our real competition is the private automobile. As far as the alternative to go to LAX. People who are going to fly are flying because that fits their plan or fits their budget. And then there's all the other people who are looking for something different, going to a major like LA International. So we always positioned ourselves as, how do we compete with the private automobile? And that's